Welcome, mindful parents. In this video, I'll be talking about the different things we can do to prepare ourselves for Ramadan and the things we can do during Ramadan. It is so important that we do not overwhelm ourselves with Ramadan and try and do more than what we can actually do. So my keyword here is simplify. Simplify your day and prepare ahead of time. If you have big projects or due dates, try and finish them before Ramadan even starts, or at least have most of it done. During Ramadan, try to focus your thinking on connecting with Allah through reading Quran, through prayer, and through dhikr. Another thing that you need to keep in mind is simplify your iftar. It doesn't have to be an extravagant, overwhelming iftar. You can have a simple iftar, like the times of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Something that you can do is make a big batch of soup that you can have for a couple of days. You don't have to make a new soup every single day. If you have company coming over for iftar, you can simply make it a potluck, or you can prepare ahead of time. So a day or two before your iftar invitation, what you can do is start prepping and putting things in the freezer so that day would not become a hectic day for you. Remember, Ramadan is all about strengthening our connection with Allah. And when we ask everybody to help and we accept that help from others, everybody gets to get good deeds. And it's okay to ask for help. I know that in our society, help is seen as a sign of weakness. However, if we reframe our thoughts and we think of help as everybody working together and everybody getting good deeds, then it's a beautiful thought. It empowers you and makes you feel so confident and so thankful for everybody's help. You don't want to get to the end of the day and you are super exhausted, you can't even stand. If you do plan to have gatherings and iftar with other families and friends, make sure that you try and keep them to Friday nights and weekends. It is important that you try your best to keep your children's daily routine as close to before Ramadan as possible. Because when we sacrifice that bedtime for the kids, what happens in return is that your children will be restless and they will get angry and frustrated really fast. And because you are fasting and you're tired and your fuel is probably going very low, you are also going to backlash at it and you probably will not respond in a very peaceful way. We don't want our children to associate you being very angry and frustrated in Ramadan because you're fasting. We want them to see that calm you, the peaceful and patient you. So don't get yourself to the point where you are impatient because you are fasting. Children will associate you being angry with Ramadan, and this is something that we don't want them to cultivate inside their brain. So do yourself a favor and do not overschedule your weeks, nor sacrifice your children's bedtime. And the last thing that you can do to prepare for Ramadan is set your goals before Ramadan. So for example, your goal could be to read every single day either a juz' or one page of Quran. It could also be that every other day or twice a week you would wake up for the night prayer, tahajjud. And it could also be that you tell yourself that you're going to be intentional about dhikr during your day. That whenever you're doing something, let's say you are cooking or you're just sitting down with your kids, that you can do dhikr. Another big goal that I have is that I intentionally tell myself that I'm going to make the extra effort to read to my kids about Ramadan, to read more Quran with them, to role model to them reading Quran and making dhikr. And sometimes what we do during Ramadan is that every weekend we do an act of kindness to one of our neighbors or our community, where we would bake something and go around and give it to our neighbors. When we prepare ourselves ahead of time, there's a higher chance that we will actually accomplish all the things that we set to do. And that way we're also prepared that if things don't go the way we want them to go, we are better at handling the situation. So what do you do to prepare yourself for Ramadan? Please share in the comments below. Remember to create peace at home for a peaceful world.